So, if I don't identify as Black or African American, how do I identify? For the most part, what I say is I am American of African descent because Africa's not a country, it's a continent full of many countries. But in terms of paperwork or things like that, so one of these, this topic came up because I've been asked a lot this week. So I did a survey and you have to mark your ethnicity. I clicked other and then I put Fulani. So the reason that I've chosen Fulani to identify as an ancestry is because that is how far back I have traced my ancestry. So I have Fulani and Jola ancestry connections to Guinea-Bissau. And Fulanis are people who are known to have traveled. So they traveled and they mixed with people in Liberia, in Sierra Leone, even Nigeria, which I also have ancestry in those places. So that's why I have chosen Fulani. Like if I have to pick one, that's the one that I pick. And sometimes it just depends on on where I'm at. So if I'm in Ghana, people ask me, "Oh, are you Nigerian?" I tell them I'm Sierra Leonean. I tell them I'm Temne and I'm Mende. So it really just depends. But in terms of here in the US, I say I'm Fulani because I find that it's a way to educate people because they have these stereotypes. I also find that I have a lot of Arabs ask me, "Oh, sister Habibti, where are you from?" Because I wear hijab. And maybe because of my skin tone, if my if my hair is covered, people don't know what I am. So I've had Egyptians assume I'm Egyptian like them. And I tell them I'm Fulani. But I also educate them and tell them, well, my ancestors or I am a descendant of slaves. My ancestors are part of the transatlantic slave trade. But I really just use these opportunities to educate people so that they know that Black and African American, even white's not an ethnicity. Or I keep using the word ethnicity. It's not an ancestry. Like being white, people will say, "Oh, I'm white." A lot of white people don't even know where they're from. They'll say, "Oh, I'm white." If you're white, you're not actually white. So do some research and find out, what is your ancestry actually, what are you? We're not Black, we're not white. Those are not things. So the other thing I've noticed or I've realized that I need to educate myself on is I've never identified as being mixed race because I'm not biracial. So I always thought, oh, you're mixed if you have a parent that's Black and if you have a parent that's something else. Both of my parents are Black. But according to DNA, I would be considered mixed race because I have 14% European ancestry. And I guess you could say, even if you are a continental African and you live on the continent, you're mixed race if you have multiple African ancestries. So I think